Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. I've got some good thoughts this morning, I believe, from Max Lucado's book, Grace. We're going to talk a little bit about Zacchaeus, that little weasel of a chief tax collector. Yeah. In Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 26, looking forward to the new covenant, the new and everlasting covenant, the covenant that you can't change, that's between the Father and the Son, and we're the beneficiaries of it. And there's never going to be any reason to change it. It says this, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will take your heart of stone out of your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. So do you have a soft heart or a hard heart? One of my goals in life is to die with a soft heart. However old I am, that's the goal. So I think that when grace happens to us, and sometimes it's unexpected, when somebody just blesses us out of the blue, it does something. And as a matter of fact, I think grace, when it happens to us, it leads to generosity. So, Zacchaeus. If there's a con artist in the New Testament, it would be this guy. It'd be Zacchaeus. He never met a person that he couldn't swindle out of something. The whole arrangement was these tax collectors would bid with Rome to get the gig, and they'd say, okay, I'll give you how many shekels, or whatever it is, I don't know. And they'd pay Rome, and then they could go out and they could collect all they could. They would just collect whatever they could. And this guy wasn't just a tax collector, he was a chief tax collector. So he's chief of the weasels. And they could fleece people. If it moved, they could get them. And so when Jesus went to Jericho, half the town showed up to take a look. It's like, oh, we've heard about this guy. Well, Zacchaeus had a lot of things going for him, but height was not one of the things that he had going for him. And, you know, he wanted to see Jesus, but the people weren't like, oh, let's get Zacchaeus up front so he can see Jesus. They're like, let that little weasel stay back there. So he was left hopping up and down, trying to see Jesus. And then he got an idea. He spots a sycamore tree. He shimmies up, and he gets out on a limb to take a look at Jesus. I spoke at a prison in El Salvador one time, and it's hard to describe, but there was like a courtyard. It was a weekend. I think it was a Sunday afternoon, and family members were able to visit, and I had a chance to preach. And it sounds weird, but there was a refrigerator like in this courtyard, and there was this guy that was short, and he wanted to see me. And it was very moving for me. I really sensed the compassion of Jesus for these folks. I felt Jesus reaching out of me to these people that were incarcerated. But this one little guy hopped up on the refrigerator so he could see me. I mean, how could I not think of Zacchaeus? Well, when Zacchaeus did it, Jesus said, come down immediately, I must stay at your house today. So he shocks the world when he does that, right? I mean, they're just like, no, this is the bad guy. What do you mean you're going to stay at his house? But it changed Zacchaeus' life. The encounter with Jesus, the encounter with grace changed his life. Has it changed yours? So here's how it affected him. He said, look, Lord, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor. And if I've cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay him back 4 times the amount. See, when grace happens to us, generosity is the response. It's like, God gave me something that's priceless. I'm going to give some of this stuff away because I know that it could help people. So when grace comes in the front door, selfishness goes out the back door, greed goes out the back door. Is this the grace that's happening to you? Receive God's grace today, and I guarantee you He will fill your heart with a new generosity. God bless you. Have a great day.